What is 107 minus 32?
80. 75.
Did you get that right? I'm still trying to do it in my head.
This is an ordinary primary school that's made an extraordinary decision.
We've got a whole new class starting our school. Would you like to meet them?
I was expecting children, and then it was our parents.
The head teacher has invited a group of parents back to school alongside their children to find out the hard way
Can I go to the toilet, please?
what primary school is really like today.
Questions about fronted adverbials and adjectives.
Oh, it was so stupid.
No phones.
No shouting.
Don't backchat to teachers.
It's mostly like you can't really do anything. Don't move.
In a real classroom next door to their kids, during one half term, they'll have to do everything they do.
At the end of this term, you will be sitting some SATs exams.
I don't agree with it.
He's 50 and he's dancing in a school. He's 50 and he's dabbing.
This class of parents are about to find out if they can keep up with their kids.
Just be nice, have a coffee and a cigarette.
Do you think your dad was naughty at school?
Of course.
Why do you think that?
Just my dad, he's naughty now.
I'm not having somebody speak to me like that. No chance, I'm a grown woman.
It's the final week of the summer term.
I'm going to miss all this, the social side, the crack, you know, the banter.
Having put their lives on hold to experience what school life is really like for their kids,
being able to spend all your lunchtime with your sons in school, you know, that's priceless. Oh, I need my glasses.
soon the adults will leave primary and return to the real world.
We think we know what happens when our children go to school, but the parents must actually do know because they've lived it. We're now talking about a shared understanding.
Good morning. Thank you.
But before the mums and dads have a full understanding of their kids' experience at school, there's one big challenge the class must face. After weeks of exam prep, in this final week, they'll sit their SATs exams. The tests every 11-year-old in England must take at the end of Year 6.
So SATs are a standardised assessment test. They are statutory and all children have to sit them. The results from that one test are the results that go through to secondary school and will then set the children's targets for what they would achieve at GCSE. So there is an external pressure for schools to achieve certain levels because as a school you are judged on those results.
I'm dreading doing the SATs. I'm dreading doing the SATs test, I really am.
They're not that bad.
What are you most dreading?
The SATs test. Because it's a test again, and I've never been good at tests. And there's a lot of people out there like me.
Do you think your mum would be able to do SATs?
No.
To experience the whole situation, to the level of expectation, the types of questions, the time limitation, and the level of formality in which the whole situation takes place, you couldn't really have a Year 6 experience without taking part in that.
I'm going to use this afternoon to try and do some revision. Can you give those out for me, Imogen, please?
Many believe today's tests are the most rigorous to date.
The level of expectation for an 11-year-old, I think, is very high.
I've done it wrong.
This is just for English.
That's just English, yeah.
Bloody hell.
OK. Don't panic.
With most of the class struggling, Mrs. Mead is drafting in the experts.
Come on, guys, in you go. People understand it.
Yes, quickly, you'll know this.
All of these children have got amazing SATs results, so they can all help you. They're the experts. How are we doing over here?
The class of adults' SATs results will be compared with the real Year 6, who sat their exams last term, along with hundreds of thousands of other 10 and 11-year-olds.
Last year the SATs were really hard apparently, so we had to really work hard to catch up. So then I think we did hardcore sessions of constant revision.
Do you have to use the word replied?
Yeah, because you can't really change the sentence.
So you can use it where you've missed a letter out.
That was stressful. Yeah, it was very stressful.
That's plural. If it's more than one boy,
It would be boys.
So was it the exams themselves that were really stressful, or was it like the run-up to it? Which did you find worse?
Subordinating clauses.
Oh, God, I'm not even on that page yet.
50-year-old property developer Richard thinks kids today have it too easy.
I think schooling now is a million times easier than when I was at school. Now it's a bit more touchy-feely, isn't it? A bit more friendly.
Awesome.
They don't have that fear factor that I had when I was a kid at primary school. I don't think there's actually enough testing at schools as far as I can see.
You're doing it by 3 like I've just done.
Yeah, I did. There's a pecking order in life. And, you know, tests are just one example of determining that.
The self-made property developer has 2 children at Blackrod, Emily, who's 9, and Joseph, who's 10.
Really, you think I'd find it difficult to do 10 and 11-year-olds work in mathematics?
Yes.
I disagree, but there you go.
OK, we got a circle?
Yeah.
OK, times tables, we ready? 5 6s.
30.
Well done.
I've gone as high as you can go, probably, academically speaking. I've got a degree in mathematics, and that was done at the time when I think degrees actually meant something.
7 7s.
49.
Richard's son Joseph will sit his SATs next year.
I would say he's very similar to me academically. He's a good-looking lad. I don't know where he gets it from either.
Does the school encourage competitiveness, or do they want you to be all equal and
All equal.
liberal?
Liberal.
Everybody gets a prize?
Yeah.
You think that's a good idea? Or do you think there should be winners and losers?
Winners and losers.
So you see these sports awards, don't you? Everybody gets a prize. What a lot of nonsense. You don't go to work and everyone's the CEO of BT.
Richard and the rest of the class have been slogging away with exam prep for most of the term. And as a reward, today Mrs. Mead has a change of scene in store.
So today you are going to go on your first school trip. You need to choose somebody to sit with on the coach. And then, if you want to line up with your partners at the back.
Hold hands.
You can hold hands if you want to, Jill, yes? Have you all got a partner?
No.
So I'm sure I can find you a partner.
Oh,
Okay.
I get a special
Thanks,
partner.
Jenny.
There were still the same things. We had an odd number of parents. Am I going to be the one that doesn't have a partner? Even at the age of 30 or 70 or 22, those things are still a huge issue.
I'll sit next to anyone, but I want to sit at the front in case I'm sick.
OK, if you want to go and find yourselves a seat.
Good morning, good
morning. What did I say?
I love being on the back seat. So I always used to sit.
School trips are very exciting. Everyone's cheering. Yeah. Eiffel Tower, was it? Blackpool Tower. Yeah, Blackpool Tower. In year 2. School trips are amazing because, Emmy, you don't get to do any work. School trips are educational.
Which are boring.
Yes, Usually we go to the museums and sorts of things. Remember when we went to the zoo and this monkey, we said hello to it and he went, nah.
Sonic sausage dog with rubber wellies on his feet. Let's a meadow.
OK, 6M, we have Year 6 joining us for the trip now.
Hey!
Hi! No offence, ladies, but I think they're getting as far away from you as possible.
So we tell them, we're from Blackrod. We're from Blackrod. Mighty, mighty Blackrod. Mighty, mighty Blackrod. Mighty, 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 super duper Blackrod. Mighty, 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 super duper Blackrod. And if you can't
At Blackrod Primary School, the mums and dads in 6M are on their first school trip in over 20 years.
Right, 6M, have you got all your belongings?
With SATs exams looming at the end of term, it's a welcome break from revision.
Please don't leave anything on the bus.
Today's outing is to the local reservoir for pond dipping, which is bringing out the inner explorer in 50-year-old Richard.
I like being in the outdoors. I just wanted to chuck it down. That snow would be good.
This is not good. Being in the outdoors, rain, wet, ponds. It's a snail.
That's boring.
Year 6 and 6M, do you want to walk very carefully over to the picnic area?
Did you make this yourself? Yeah.
There's always an excitement for children about when they can eat the packed lunch, even if it's exactly the same as the one they bring to school every day. But when you take it on a school trip, it's always more exciting.
And even the bag's got it. No, our Mark's bag.
One lucky pupil has had his lunch made for him by his 79-year-old mum.
Put my name on it. That's love, that, isn't it?
The parents will sit their SATs exams at the end of this week, and some are more prepared than others.
So have you been revising for the SAT?
Yeah.
You?
No.
I don't know what you're on about, they're easy. See, I don't get the stress thing.
Yeah, but you're a one-off, aren't you, lovely?
I think any kid should be stretched past their point of comfort. Adversity brings out strength in people.
Do you prepare for your tests, your SATs?
Yeah.
Do you feel confident with it, but you're a little bit worried?
Yeah.
So, that's natural. I mean, Margaret Thatcher said nothing is achieved without troubles.
Richard is German for strong, ruler, I believe, so maybe there's something in the name.
The SATs exams are just around the corner, and for most of the parents, final revision is stepping up a gear.
Don't know if this is right.
I'm looking at this and just thinking, I'm just gonna... Fail is a negative word, so I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to pass my SATs.
Right, so what are we doing? 325. So I set it out like this, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. So it's either a bracket, a dash, or a comma.
52-year-old Mark is squeezing in some last-minute cramming with the help of his son Robert, who will be sitting his SATs next year.
Right, I struggle with this one now.
What is it?
Robert, he's 10, he's autistic. It's pretty much social and communication, really. But it just all comes under that overarching umbrella of ASD autism. Do you want to check them off for me? Make sure I've done them right, mate. I call him my own little Stephen Fry, my own little mini Stephen Fry. You know, some people might say he's got a mind of useless information. He's not. He's got it all.
Tarzan was so hungry, he devoured a whole wild pig by himself. There's not a lot to explain about my dad, but I love him so much. I'm always out there for him.
Cheers, Matt.
Welcome.
Thank you.
An exclamation mark to show that it's exaggerating.
He's going to be doing his SATs like, 30 other peers. My lad's, has got that little difference as well. So how's he going to cope with that? Because it's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on a 10-year-old.
Full stop.
Nice one.
Nice.
And it's not just Robert Mark's worried about.
I'm dreading the English paper tomorrow. I really am. Dreading it.
With me, you can learn everything.
Yeah. You're not going to be sat in the exam with me, am you? I'm going to be sat there on my own. But,
Who else with?
We'll just do our best.
Who's more clever, Robert?
Me? I've got to say me because Dad is 52 and sometimes his logic seems to go away from him, I think.
Somebody like me at 52 getting wound up about it, you know, what's 10, 11-year-old going to be like?
Painter-decorator Johnny also has a son, Marley, in Year 5, who'll sit his SATs next year.
Hi, Dad.
All right, pal.
Yeah.
You been shopping, mate?
Yeah.
That's some nice stuff.
And Johnny is one of the class's biggest critics of the exam system.
And I'm just wondering, where's the life lessons in this? I just think it's old-fashioned. Why are we not learning them about life? Where is it, you know, proper life in today's times, not an 100-year-ago classroom. 2 times 5.
Oh, 10.
10. Let me just give you one here for an example of this abuse of a tree that they've cut down. Find all the prime factors. What in today's time do I need to know?
A prime number is something that can be times by itself, but nothing else.
Right, and where am I going to use that in today's times? I'd rather him learn about confidence building in that space of 5 minutes or half an hour he had to learn what a prime factor is.
How do you feel your dad's going to get on tomorrow then, Marley?
Good, I hope. I'll say he's going to do 85.5 effort.
I was going to give it 100% effort. I'll do it because I want to show Marley, but you don't have to be scared of it or stressed about the test. You just do it. Give it your 100%.
After a term of getting to grips with the modern primary curriculum, it's the morning of exams.
Well, we've all been saying about kids having a wobble, so I had a wobble.
We're just doing
Last minute cramming.
Yeah. I'm dead nervous.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
I've put over 20 hours in.
Yeah.
Since Friday.
You'll be fine then.
Do you reckon? And that's all on English.
There was about 30 pages of English verbs.
I remember, you know, on the bus going to school, still revising, you know, thinking that, you know, that last bit will sink in better. Just rows and rows of desks and teachers marching up and down.
I was doing my homework at 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah, I think I've thought about this SATs test about 10 minutes.
Minutes before the bell, and one of 6M is nowhere to be seen.
Is this okay?
Yeah, looks all right to me. Come on, Ems, are you going to help me pack?
Richard, the class's biggest SAT supporter, has other plans with his wife and kids for exam day.
We're packing to go on holiday to Thailand.
And you haven't finished school yet. You've still got a week to go.
A week to go and we're bunking off. Yeah. Well,
These days, parents can get fined up to £60 per day if they take their child out of school without permission.
I don't think you should take the children out in term time. End of.
You got the essentials, your teddies. It's every year we just seem to disappear, and every year Bolton Council send me a nice invoice. I'm really sad to be missing the SATs, but it's still cheaper to take the fine than going school holiday.
What happens if you take your child out for 10 days every year? How long is that over 7 years? That's 70 days. How many weeks is that? 14 weeks. Are you saying you're not going to learn anything in 14 weeks? If education's important, education's important.
At Blackrod Primary, it's SATs day. And before 6M sit their first exam, For some of the parents, the reality of leaving primary school, for them and their kids, is hitting hard.
How are you all feeling about the last day of school?
Happy! Because school's out for summer.
How can you be happy about leaving it all behind? It's just so sad. Right, sort of like, that's it, it's over. We all walk away. But it's going to be difficult to walk away.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I don't want to go back to being on my own at home. I felt quite emotional. You messaged me, didn't you? And I was like, don't. I feel emotion.
I think children are very lucky. I think they've got an awful lot of opportunities that are open to them. I think they have a huge amount of experiences that are thrown their way. I think you're really lucky. School was more boring when I was at school,
It's been mentally and physically exhausting, yeah. You realise what the children go through every single day.
And you realise how hard work it
You
is.
realise how hard it is and all the different lessons.
I'm just
Whenever I ask Layla what she'd done at school, quite often you will get, I don't know, I don't remember, and it drives you crazy. However, since then coming to school myself, totally get that now.
For 52-year-old Mark, his time at primary has shed some important light on his son's experience at school.
I have Robert up in Cottonwell because I was concerned that he'd be at school, he'd be the loner, he'd be ridiculed because he's different. Because children can be brutal, and I was worried that he could be here and explaining everything about a Millennium Falcon and Death Star, whatever, and people just going and walking away and him being this loner. But the experience, seeing him at lunchtime, he's not. There's other kids who are embracing it, and you're thinking like, good on you, son,
We've got children now in schools who would never have been in school when I started. If you get it right, they're not children with special educational needs, they're just another child in our school.
I just come away every day knowing that he's not on his own, and that's worth a fortune to me, that. Yeah, it's worth a lot. You just want him safe. That's all I want, safety. And that's all he's got.
The moment of reckoning for 6M is finally here. As they file in for their first exam, can the mums and dads make the grade?
We all okay?
Thank you.
Good. Just going to put you in your places for this morning's SATs tests. Okay. So, Mark, if you want to go and sit over on that side. And Ben, if you choose one of those tables on that side, please.
The class will sit 3 SATs exams: maths, arithmetic and reasoning, spelling, punctuation and grammar, or SPAG, and lastly, reading comprehension. The tests are made up of real SATs questions.
Ultimately, no matter how much you dress it up, it's one of the key parts of the Year 6 academic year because of how much weighting is given to the results at the end of it, rightly or wrongly.
Let's do it. Okay.
In England, the results of these tests are used to determine which set a child goes into in secondary school, as well as setting their targets for GCSE level.
We're going to start with the grammar test this morning. To experience that anxiety, that pressure, that worry, that concern as an adult, you would have to experience the tests. This is exactly the same amount of questions as Year 6 would have and exactly the same amount of time.
I don't like tests.
Sometimes I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, sometimes we are.
I actually do it. I like tests. And I don't really get as nervous because I know I can do it. It makes you worry about if you're going to get this right. Oh my God, I've lost this test, and oh my God, I'm so stressed now.
Very big test.
Yeah. Really hard test.
All year 6 students must do them, and you just get given them, and then they're gone.
Okay, so I make it 9:30, which means we will finish at 10:15. Good luck, guys. Off you go.
As a parent, I think it's a lot of pressure on a 10-year-old or 11-year-old. But, you know, from the exams they're taking, you know, year 2, year 3, it's all building up to that end goal.
You just kind of scan the room really to make sure that everyone seems okay and that, you know, they feel okay. 10 minutes to go, 6M, because, you know, nobody deserves to be in a situation where they're upset because of something that's on a test paper. When they are 10 and 11 and sitting a very formal exam, which it is, you worry for their self-esteem and their confidence and their emotional well-being. Don't panic if you've not finished, but if you have, check your answers. Okay, time's up. Can you put your pencils down, please, or pens, and close your papers? Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. Well done, everybody. Are you okay?
No. No, I'm
You did
not.
really well.
No, isn't it?
Must be training for the kids as well, it must be. I've got a really bad headache.
I forgot what I had from what.
Panic if you're talking about the answers at break time.
My brain's actually killing me. I'm like, oh.
6M will sit 2 more exams this afternoon, like some of their children did only a few weeks ago. But for now, it's a well-earned break.
Yeah, what's that?
You had some exams.
It's a note. He's just asked one of the girls in his class to prom.
How'd it go?
You didn't have that because it was
For the parents with kids in year 6, thoughts are turning to moving on.
How do you feel about Max leaving primary school?
I'm excited for his future, but to leave primary school, you always get the, oh God, I feel old. I'm dreading the day, that day, when he walks out of these doors.
How do I feel about Rhea leaving school? Emotional, really. Emotional, because she was the first. And she's just made us feel really proud.
And for those that are left, when the eldest leave, everyone else gets to move up a year.
When you go up a year, it can be nerve-wracking, it can be petrifying because maybe you don't like the teacher and she or he could be strict. You feel like you're the kings of the school. And you do harder things, you do happier things, and you want to learn new things. Yay! And you boogie like a bird.
Back in the exam room, reformed rebel Johnny may be sitting the exams, but he doesn't agree with them. And during the maths paper, he's decided to make a stand.
Sit down with a piece of paper and you get categorised because of it, and you get, boxed. You're in that set, you're in that set. It's like class, isn't it? You're classing people's life. You're being put into a class system, really, and it's totally wrong in today's teachings.
Why don't you check your answers rather than writing an essay? But you're done.
Yay!
There's one thing I'm going to say to you. Don't freak each other out by comparing answers. The worst experience would be for a child to come out and think that they've totally and utterly flunked the test because that does so much to their self-esteem and confidence.
It was a bit intense, that, wasn't it?
It was difficult. I'm worried about how 10-year-olds cope.
Oh, your faces are really buoyant though. You looked terrified this morning when you sat at that desk, and now you two have got the biggest smiles on your faces.
For Johnny, the experience of sitting in the exams has left him in no doubt.
I looked at a long division and I just thought this is absolutely pointless. I couldn't do it. I was struggling to do it. And then realised that it means nothing, which set me anger off even more. I wanted to rip the paper up and physically throw it at the window and then walk out, but I controlled myself, which took some absolute doing.
Do you think, though, that this year or any year, there was any child sat in that room doing the SATs, feeling the same way that you felt?
Yeah, I think even if it was just 2 people, 3 people out of that classroom of, say, 30, if they've got that stress level like I did, I feel sorry for them.
We have parents who worry about the excess pressure their children are put on. But it's the system we've got. That's what we're working with, so try to make the best of it. But we try to make sure the children don't get lost in it. And more importantly, we try to make sure the children don't get munched up by it.
The parents will get their SATs results tomorrow. For the real Year 6, tonight's prom. And for Ria and her mum Asha, just enough time for some last-minute preparation.
It's a roller coaster, Year 6. It's a roller coaster. And I've got to say, but after doing this experience, I have so much more, say, respect for my children. I'm dreading the Leavers Assembly. I'm dreading it. I don't know how I'm going to hold it together. I know. I can't believe you're leaving. No, I know. But you have to forget about that tonight and just go and have a good time with all your friends.
Yeah? Can you do them? Or do you want me to do them?
Jill's twins, Millie and Maisie, are also off to prom.
It didn't seem 2 minutes ago since they were in reception. And now look at them. Right, have we got everything? This summer, when they leave, I think it's going to hit me quite hard. It's going to be I'm probably going to be in floods of tears. You look lovely.
In terms of long-term aspirations, I just want them to be happy and do what they want to do.
Oh, don't you look lovely?
I feel a bit sad leaving because leaving all my friends that aren't going to the same school, leaving all the nice teachers.
I didn't recognise this guy.
How do you feel about leaving primary school?
Happy. When you say you're happy, you're going to miss here.
Yeah, I'm going to miss my friends and all that, but I hopefully will make some new ones.
Not as glamorous as you lot.
After 7 years, tomorrow the real Year 6 will wave goodbye to primary for good.
This class are one of the classes that I taught in reception, so when they arrived. So I've seen them when they were little, 4, and now big, loud and 11.
How are you feeling about seeing them, I don't know, fly out the nest, I suppose?
It's sad. Sorry. It's sad, but they're ready, they're ready to move on. Oh. I wish you hadn't said that.
It's the last day of term, and the buzz of summer holidays is in the air. But before 6M can relax, they need to collect their SATs results.
I hope you did well.
I do as well. So all that homework and all that revision you did for me,
paid off.
I hope so, mate.
Hello.
you okay? So I'm going to give you your SATs feedback.
SATs week, results week, because it's the publication date that is the killer. Your information is going to be on a league table, and that information is used to judge your school. The implication is if we weren't doing these things and having league tables, I'd be sitting with my feet up, letting standards go through the floor. I regard that as a professional insult.
The adults' results will be compared to the boys and girls in Year 6, who sat their exams last term. After weeks of revision, have 6M, with an average age of 40, performed better or worse than the kids.
I'm going to do the feedback. Obviously, we don't want you all listening into other people's feedback, so in true end of term style, you can do some colouring in. So, yeah, you can do some colouring in and chit-chat amongst yourselves. You're allowed to be chatty.
One by one, Mrs. Me called us in, so we were all like, oh, what did you get? I hope I do as good as you. Hope I didn't fail or anything.
Yeah, I hope I didn't get really bad.
Aisha?
Oh, you're first, you're first. I didn't even get time to get nervous.
6M, you cannot be the quietest you've been all term now.
No, that's me. Turn back round.
To achieve the government's expected standard for a Year 6 child, in each exam the adults need a minimum score of 50%.
You ready? 59% in your maths, 69% in your SPAG, 84% in your reading, which gave you an average of 71% overall.
That was worth staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning for. Oh my God.
When the results come in and they are something to celebrate, you're always really proud to be able to tell them that, you know, your hard work and your determination and your resilience to not give up paid off, because look what you've done.
Are you pleased? Yeah. Oh, look at you, come here. Oh, that's stupid.
There are some times where that's not the case.
So I'm a little bit nervous because I can hear people getting quite good scores, and I know mine isn't because I missed half of it out, so.
When you have to tell a child that they haven't done very well, it is a really rubbish thing to have to do. Some children take it very well and are very like, well, you know, you've said I've done my best, and you know, that's happened quite a lot, but there have been times when children have been upset, which is absolutely horrendous. And it's the part that I really dislike. I strongly believe that they need to know that although they're important and they need to work as hard as they can, it is not the be-all and end-all, and it doesn't define who they are as a person.
Imogen!
Oh, it's my turn. I don't want anybody to see it.
I don't see it, it's just your scores. You got 47% on maths, which was better, an improvement. 35 on your SPAG, it was still an improvement on your last, yeah.
I think the parents sit in the tests and realising the high level of expectation that there is for children at the age of 11 now is a crucial part of the learning experience that they've had.
Johnny!
Woo.
So you wrote us a couple of messages on the back of the test.
Yeah.
You've just got to think, like we say, it measures progress.
It measures progress in 2 subjects. Or
yeah, in 2 subjects, which is not a whole child. And we know that.
I think they've got a lot of old-fashioned values, what should be brought up to date. So, yeah.
So you got 48% in maths, which is a massive improvement from the first, with what you can do. 25% in your SPAG, and then you're reading 62%, which again shows how much you understand language. So.
Yeah, overall it's below average.
No, that one's well above. That one's just on the cusp. That one is, but.
Yeah.
Last up for his results, the parent who lost the most sleep over the dreaded grammar test.
Mark? Don't look so worried. Okay,
So you got 94% in your maths, 61 in your mum's bag, 70 in your reading.
Brilliant. Oh, I'm chuffed. Well done, nice one. Cheers, love. You're a star.
You've done really well.
Thank you.
Well done. Have a sweet.
I'm going to do. Cheers, mate. Nice.
Most of the class have passed, and everyone's improved. But have the adults outsmarted the kids?
You need approximately 50% to achieve the Year 6 expected standard, okay? So, the reading in Year 6 this year, 90% of the children did that. In 6M, 93% of you did it. In the SPAG, Year 6, 97% of the children did it. In 6M, 81%. In maths, our Year 6, 97% of the children. 6M, 87%.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Still really good.
The class of parents have inched ahead of the kids in reading comprehension. But in maths and spelling, punctuation and grammar, the 10 and 11-year-olds are streets ahead.
Just goes to show how the children have learnt and been taught to get to that sort of level.
Yeah.
You know.
And they've worked really hard. It's all credit to them because they worked really hard and they deserve that.
After putting their lives on hold for this half term, the parents' time at primary is almost over.
Sit next to me with them tissues.
No, I will.
Before they head back to their daily lives, the school is holding a final assembly to bid farewell to this most unusual of classes.
They've only been here for a few weeks, but they have made a tremendous contribution to our school. So stand up while we give them a big clap, everyone. Well done. It's a really powerful message. Walk yourself through something in somebody else's shoes. That's exactly what the parents have done. And I think their knowledge base and their understanding and their commitment to their children's school is magnified tenfold.
My time at Blackrod has taught me that good grades are not a measure of happiness.
How much primary school really has changed.
I have a greater insight into the realities that Millie and Maisie have been facing. I now understand why they don't want to talk about their day when they get home from school and how easy it is to forget water bottles and PE kits.
The expected level of attainment is frightening and sometimes made my head hurt. But equally, the way I was taught was truly inspiring. And I will leave this experience with great memories, but also precious knowledge to help my daughter when she eventually arrives at the doors of the Year 6 classroom.
One of the powerful things that we got from them was this group of adults who were new to the system, recognised the change, recognised the difference, and were coming to us and saying, thank you. I understand now.
Dear school, so you give me another chance. It's been an amazing adventure. You've changed. Your curriculum's come more exciting, dynamic and challenging. There are no regrets, just extremely happy memories. Please continue to inspire and nurture.
For one of the parents who had his confidence knocked growing up, this term has proved invaluable.
My time at Blackrod has taught me that I can be the person that I've wanted to be for a very long time. I can and I will achieve anything that I put my mind to. And most of all, thank you for reminding me of who I am. Thank you.
For the adults, it's back to their daily lives. For the younger members of Year 6, next stop, secondary school.
Well, I hope they bounce out of our door, age 11, they're ready for the next stage. A fantastic future for you. Embrace it. Don't be afraid of it. End of 7 years, the future ahead of them. Hopefully, we've given them a good foundation to move forward. And what we hope they take with them is thousands of happy memories.
It's like we're at the top now, but when we go into high school, we'll be at the bottom again.
Yeah, we're the youngest.
And actually, I'm excited to go to high school.
Yeah, I am too.
Excited.
We're ready for new challenges.
Our Year 6 2017, a massive Black Rod 3 cheers. Hip hip.
The people you're helping to educate are going to be the citizens of the future, leaders of the future, workers of the future, mums and dads of the future, whatever. We get it wrong, they're in trouble. But it's the sort of work that if you get it right, it's an amazing job to have.
It's quite nerve-wracking going to year 7, but I think we're all going to go and be all right.
You never leave primary school again, you only do it once, unless you're 6M and you get to do it twice.
So me leaving and the twins leaving, that's it. It's just, we're never coming back after today. That's it. We're going, we're moving on.
Are we ready? Off you
After the most extraordinary of terms, the class of parents are officially out for summer.
I didn't get expelled and I actually finished something.
Just really emotional. I don't know, it's weird.
I do feel like I'm leaving all over again. And probably feel more emotional this time round than what I remember from Year 6.
I'll not miss asking to have, if I can go to the toilet, but that is literally about it.
I'm going to crack on the rest of my life and try the best in each thing I do now.
Children are magic people. Fantastic. What happens to them when they grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be a rugby player.
Hopefully an archaeologist, or probably a zookeeper.
What about being a teacher?
Nope.
Don't like kids. Because I like
You
kids.
don't like kids?
Based on my recent research of Andy Warhol for Art Day, I think I would really want to be an artist.